bunch of trailers came out. I watched the Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange looked pretty good. Sonic looks pretty good. But then we got the War of the Rings. Okay? I always said this show is going to be a pile of garbage. Okay? This new Amazon show, okay, here, they're trying to do everything they can to, change the show, to make it more woke, to make it suit Twitter's needs, ruining the original vision, and when they compare about Sonic, changing in Sonic's design because it ruins the artist's vision, when they'll constantly attack movies like Ghostbusters Afterlife, demanding, Ghostbusters 2016 to be canon. They constantly attacked Alita Battle Angel because of her eyes, and then it was because she was too sexy, okay? But they would attack the creators of the Sonic movie because they listened to the fans, and it would ruin the artist's vision. The War of the Rings, the Rings of Power, ruins George Tolkien's original vision. Once again, if you do not know who he is the guy who made Lord of the Rings, the books. Okay? Lord of the Rings, the books. And again, Peter Jackson's movie adaptations was basically the books, and all the epicness in the books adapted to film form. Okay? And, people said we're not going to see anything similar to War of the Rings. Of course, we had seen epic stories similar to War of the Rings come out since Peter Jackson's War of the Rings. Of course, we had Game of Thrones, but that ended up in failure. And of course, we have Dune, which came out last year as well. Once again, Dune is not as well received as the original War of the Rings trilogy, but I think it's gonna have the same reception. And of course, we had in the past the original Star Wars trilogy, as well, and some other older epic stories as well. But again, if you talk about film trilogy, yeah, Dune is not like War of the Rings, because Dune only has 2 parts, because Dune is one book. And, Dune Part 2 is going to be like the Return of the King. King is basically one part of a story. But this show is a disrespect to the original work by Tolkien. It is a complete disrespect to the original book series. Okay? And this show is going to cost over $1 billion to make, and $465 million for one season. Why would anyone watch this over the original War of the Rings movies? Okay? They're doing everything they can to make it woke for Twitter, to do everything they can to make it so it can be the version for SJWs and Twitter. That's basically War of the Rings: The Ring of Power. There is nothing that's going to come out of this movie that's great. And the mainstream media is going to continue praising this because they're adding more minorities to War of the Rings. They're adding black people and Hispanics and Asians to War of the Rings. Something that the original dared to do. Okay? Even though War of the Rings is based off Eastern Europe and folklore surrounding Eastern and Northern Europe. I guess it must be offensive towards people living in Sweden, Norway, and Finland, and Eastern Europe, the fact that this series is being butchered, which is based around their culture, to Northern Europe and Eastern Europe. The fact that they're changing a show in favor of Twitter, in favor of one platform that has been losing users for the past 2 years. I just don't get why why all these companies continue to listen to Twitter, continue to bow down to Twitter, like they're the greatest platform of all time, and refuse to listen to normal people and normal fans. All we have to look at is a lot of stuff like the Eternals bombing. I think Eternals didn't really do too well in theaters, but Eternals bombing at the box office, Matrix Resurrections, but stuff like Ghostbusters 2016 did fail at the box. Ghostbusters 2016 failing at the box office, but Ghostbusters Afterlife succeeding and making money for Sony. You had Dune succeeding at the box office, Sonic succeeding at the box office, and of course Godzilla vs. Kong succeeding at the box office as well. All of those series gave fans what they wanted, and did not listen to the Rotten Tomatoes establishment saying that they must be neutered down for Twitter. They must be neutered down for accent, for more boring talking sequences that, people don't really care for. Most general audiences that don't want to watch them. Well, there's like movies that usually nominated for Oscars do far worse than movies that, like Ghostbusters Afterlife and Spider-Man No Way Home. The fact that Spider-Man No Way Home did everything they can to listen to the fans and to appease the fans of Spider-Man and make it one big massive fan service like Endgame. Well, Spider-Man No Way Home passed Avatar at the box office, a movie that everybody forgets besides it being the highest grossing movie of all time, and that's the only thing it's remembered for. Because literally nobody remembers Avatar. But War of the Rings, The Rings of Power, will become the forgotten, pointless adaptation of the War of the Rings, and people will thus be watching the original series instead. Goodbye.